This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and this year we are saying thank you to therapists. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories and millions of journeys. Behind each one of them is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take that next step forward. Moments in therapy, like asking the right questions, having a safe place to get emotional or cry, or small wins, they can change lives. This World Mental Health Day, BetterHelp is honoring those connections and the therapists who make them possible while showing how easy it is to get guidance from a licensed therapist online with BetterHelp. I've been doing therapy for over 2 years and I couldn't recommend it enough. It's helped me so much with relationships with my friends, families, even myself. It's helped me understand myself better, and it's just made for such a better life. It really has. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for live sessions based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we are collaborating with those therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off of their first month at BetterHelp.com/PFF. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/PFF. Let's move on to the Seahawks and the Jaguars. Seattle wins this game 20-12. Seattle's top 5 graded players, we got wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba at the top of the list with a 90.6, tight end A.J. Barner right behind him. Those are the two guys who made the biggest plays in the passing game in this one. Barner an 83.3 overall grade. Defensive end Leonard Williams an 80.6. Safety Nick Emanwari with a 78.1. And then linebacker Drake Thomas a 75.2. Sam Darnold was really the top graded player for the Seahawks, a 94.6 overall grade in this game. What a season Sam Darnold is having. On Jacksonville side of things, linebacker Ventrell Miller with an 89.9. Linebacker Foyesei Oluokun with an 80.0. Wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. with a 76.5. Defensive tackle Devon Hamilton with a 73.4. Linebacker Dennis Gardick with a 67.5. And then Trevor Lawrence in this game, a 69.2. Stat that told the story, Dalton.
Boy, Seattle Sam, Trevor. They're calling him Seattle Sam.
I don't know if they're doing that.
I'm doing that, and I'm starting it. We're doing it. Seattle Sam. Just outstanding in this game. You know what? Sometimes you go as far across country as you possibly could from Seattle to Jacksonville against a team with a really good defense that just came off a huge win over Kansas City, and you're not really running the football all that well this week if you're Seattle against that front seven, and you got a quarterback and a number one wide receiver that just finds a way to get you through it. Sam Darnold was outstanding in this game. I think you talk about, him, Baker Mayfield, Drake May, Sam Darnold. Maybe between him and Drake May, I think those were maybe the two best quarterback performances we saw this week. I really do. Sam Darnold was just unbelievable. 93.5 passing grade, 5 big-time throws, 7 of 12 on 10-plus yard throws with 232 yards and a 97 passing grade on those throws. And I mentioned in the preview, because I've talked about how well Jacksonville defends the middle of the field. How about Sam Darnold with an 86 passing grade against this defense between the numbers?
Yeah.
He, and my most impressive, because I just wanted to talk both of them in some order, he and Jackson Smith-Njigba, basically just the two of them, and Clint Kubiak with the play calling. Those guys took down the Jacksonville Jaguars and this really good defense. Smith-Njigba, especially if Puka Nacua is going to miss a game, and we were kind of anointing, okay, Puka Nacua has been the best receiver in football this year. Jackson Smith-Njigba is on just an unreal run right now, and I think the big thing for me, check this out, Trevor. He's getting downfield, 4 explosive plays in this game. This was his 4th game this year with an average depth of target above 12 yards. He had 4 games with an average depth of target above 12 yards in his first 2 seasons altogether. So they're using him more now as a vertical threat who can win at any level of the field. And you saw that in this game against an excellent back seven and a great defense down there they have in Jacksonville right now. These two guys took the game over. And the third one I would just mention real quick, how valuable has A.J. Barner become for this team?
Extremely.
I mean, that last play call to seal this game, that bomb to him, because basically everything else about that play was their usual waggle concept, and he just takes one jab step towards the corner and then back to the deep over for the throwback. And just an A-plus call by Clint Kubiak. But A.J. Barner, the blocking ability we knew about at Michigan, right? We've said this before. We knew about it, but he had Colson Loveland next to him, so he's not getting the football much. the development of A.J. Barner as a receiver, as that threat, along with the borderline elite blocking that he brings as a tight end, this guy is so darn valuable for this team. I mean, that one play at the end, obviously, great call, great throw again, but Darnold and Smith and Jigba right now, I don't think the potentially best quarterback receiver duo in the NFL this year, arguably, that we thought we'd get. But this is ridiculous, this stuff that these two guys are doing. And to go out there and basically just those two guys beat this defense, unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, it's really impressive when the other team knows who your best receiver is, who you're going to run your offense through, and you can still get that person the ball. Like, to me, that is such an... Some people will look at it and be like, oh, yeah, duh, they're so talented, you're going to get them the ball. But defenses aren't dumb. Like, they're keying in on exactly who your best players are, especially when they're up to this caliber. And yet, Smith and Jigba was still able to produce. To be honest with you, the stat that told the story in this game and the reason why Seattle won is because of the big play results in the passing game, okay? Each one of these teams had 4 plays of 20 or more yards in the passing game. The Jags, of their 4, had 2 touchdowns off of 2 of them, a missed field goal, and then a punt. The Seahawks, of their 4, had 2 touchdowns, a made field goal, and then a big catch to A.J. Barner to run out the clock. So that was simply what told the story. These were 2 teams that were very evenly matched. And was it a little bit more low scoring than maybe we thought that it was going to be? Yes. But the 2 defenses have played well this year, especially when guys have been healthy. I know that Seattle missed a lot of guys this week in their secondary anyways, so they weren't fully healthy in this one. But it was a little bit more of a defensive battle than we thought that it was going to be. But the fact of the matter is that each one of these teams had 4 explosive plays of 20 or more yards in the passing game. Seattle capitalized on theirs more than the Jags did. And that's how you get to a 1-possession game win like we saw on the scoreboard when this one was all said and done. By the way, Sam Darnold this season, 99.0 passing grade on throws of 15 or more yards this season. And that's not completed throws. That is targeted throws, which means obviously when you have a 99 passing grade when that's the case, you're completing a lot of them. But that is an unbelievably high grade, even when you bake into the fact that a completion of 15 or more yards is always going to get you a positive result of, at least a 0.5 in our system, probably a 0.1 when it comes to throwing the ball deep down the field like that. Sam Darnold has been incredible, and this game was no different, capitalizing on those throws. Most impressive, I love the Jags defense on third down in this game. I thought they did a fantastic job of keeping their team in it. The Seahawks were 1 for 8 in this game on third down, much below their third down average this season. Jags had a 71.4 team defensive grade on third down and held the Seahawks to a negative 0.674 EPA per play. So all of those things to say, it really just came down to what each team did with their 4 big plays in the passing game. And Seattle just happened to capitalize on theirs a little bit more.
Darnold right now the highest grade through 6 weeks, the highest graded quarterback in football. Doing it so much, again, I'm going to say it's the average time to throw so much faster than he did last year. Last year he was up near 3.1. He's at 2.61. Think about it this way. He's attacking downfield the way that he is. He is 4th in the NFL in big-time throws, and yet he is getting rid of the football in an average time to throw neighborhood with Mac Jones and Jared Goff, with those guys. That's how quickly Darnold is striking down the field, and the rapport with Smith and Jigba. The touchdown throw on the out route to Cooper Kupp was outstanding. The execution, the play at the end of Barner. Sam Darnold is playing absolutely out of his mind right now, and it's crazy to think because he had a great year last year despite the end of it. This is better. This is even better than at any point last. This is an even better version of Sam Darnold that we got last year. Yep. Unbelievable stuff you're getting from him right now in his passing game.
Seahawks run game certainly could have been better in this game. I think the run game for both sides could have been better. When you look at the Seahawks, Kenneth Walker 3.4 average yards per carry, Zach Charbonnet 2.0. But even on the other side of things for the Jags, Travis Etienne 2.3 average yards per carry. Bashal Tutin had a 7, but he only carried the ball twice for 14 yards. One of them was for 8 yards. The other one was for 6. So obviously that's a little bit better. But just the run game was really limited by both of these teams. And so again, that just goes. I hate to keep going back to it, but genuinely, that's the stat that told the story. The run games weren't operating as well as they had in games past, and it was just all about how you capitalize on those big plays. Anything else before we move on?
I don't think so. Nope. Jags could have got after it better in the pass rush, but I mean, it is what it is. When you got a quarterback running that hot, it's going to be hard to beat them.
I still think both of those teams are very good football teams. Devin Lloyd, a major factor for the Jags, who only played 15 snaps in this game. He ended up having some calf tightness, so they didn't even put him out there in the second half. So, both of these teams missing some key guys on their defenses, and these are still two of the better teams in the NFL.